So before I get too far into this, let me go ahead and share this on my Facebook really quick so that people can find it. There it is. Post. Done. Paste. All right. Publish. And there we go. It's publishing. Cool. People can find it now. All right. So I didn't do a video for a while, as you guys probably realized, but yesterday I did a ton. But I mean, I haven't been really up on doing a lot of videos. Today I almost didn't even do one. I was really debating. And then I was talking to somebody online. It's like, hey, did you buy any of the figures from the computer graphic line? I said, yeah, I bought one. And he said, which one? He thought it might have been He-Man or Skeletor. It's like, nope, Man-E-Faces. Man-E-Faces. And so I thought, you know what? I should make a quick video about the Man-E-Faces. Hey, Master Far. Thanks for joining me. So, let's see if this is up yet. Something went wrong. Retap. Oh, there we go. All right. Hey, Juan Solo. Thanks for joining us. Thoraxorian, thanks for being here. Two streams, so I can also see this. Hey, thanks for watching 2 streams, man. Hey, Leo X Rocks. Leo X Rock, thanks for being here. So you just got AE, He-Man, and another Horde Trooper. Nice. All right, so Man-E-Faces. Now, Man-E-Faces was always a fun figure when I was a kid. I always liked the play feature of being able to rotate his head. And I remember the commercial they used to have would show this kid playing with his Man-E-Faces inside Castle Grayskull. And as he was playing with them, I think it was his dad or something was watching him play, and he kept changing the heads. Look, he had lots of people inside Castle Grayskull protecting it. And so I always kind of liked that feature. I really wish they would have made a commemorative of him. They did not. I wish they made a commemorative of him and Ram Man. Those are the 2 figures that are missing. But it's so cool the way, you know, you can just go and, you know, now you have Manny Robot, and now you have Manny Monster. And of course, in the mini comic, Skeletor and I forget the sorcerers were battling him back and forth, and he, you know, between the monster and the man, and he became the robot then. And I don't know, it's always kind of interesting. I always thought the actor concept was kind of strange. Now, when I was a kid, he could only turn to these 3, and that was it. So not a whole lot of acting ability. And, you know, that was always fun. Now, of course, the cartoon had him change into all kinds of characters, including Beastman and Orko and everything else. And I don't know, I thought that was a little bit much, but hey, what the heck. So later on at the 2000X, and 2000X had a giant gun. Oh, before I jump to 2000X, I did not finish talking about the 80s version. So the 80s version had, I know of 3 different variants, or maybe even more, where the hoses were different colors. This is the pink variant, so you can see it had the pink hoses. They also had a purple variant, and the more common one was this red one. I used to have a purple one. I don't know what I did with it, but you can see the different variants and the different color tubes on the chest. All right, there we go. That's what I wanted to explain. Oh, also, they also had a Manny Weapons one, which basically is Man-E-Faces that came with all these extra accessories in this brownish maroon kind of color, depending on what you think. I think it's more brown than maroon personally, but whatever. And it came with these 5 extra accessories that you can get if you got the Manny Weapons pack, which for some reason ended up a lot of times with a Wonder Bread He-Man. He would get 1 or 2 of these accessories. I don't know if people just had extras that gave it to their Wonder Bread He-Man, or if he actually came with one of these brown weapons naturally. All right. Hey, TrapJaw72, thanks for joining us. Let's see, someone says, I have the vintage one, but his legs are borked. I need some He-Bands for him. Definitely you do. I didn't get Man-E-Faces chest thing. Yeah, I think it's just more of the way it looks. Now, let me pull my picture off the wall here. Oh. So as you guys know, I have pictures of my top figures of my favorites, and there's Manny faces from the 80s card back. And you can see in the 80s card back quite a bit different. He had purple tubes going around him, and they actually went around him, not into his skin like you saw with the 80s figure. It actually had it going into his skin, and that's kind of bizarre the way that does that. So some people surmise he's wearing an orange jumpsuit, because think about it, his skin is on the outside of this tube. I mean, that's kind of yucky. It's supposed to be his skin right there. I mean, it's actually stretched over the helmet. So there's been a lot of debate whether it's an orange jumpsuit or that he's actually skin. On the actual picture, though, you can tell it's supposed to be skin and just tubes wrapped around him. All right, let's go and take a look at our 2000X version. I'll just set this aside in case you want to reference that again in a few minutes. So in 2000X, this was our cool Manny faces we got. And they did a better job this time. You can tell he has like some kind of backpack thing on, and maybe he is wearing some stuff over that's the same color as his skin. And again, they gave him the orange face, so he looks like Donald Trump with the orange, the orange skin. And there we go. So, he also has the rotating head feature. And one thing we got for the first time ever, which was so cool, was we could actually rotate his head, and his head would stay intact in the rotation. So we had double rotation. We could rotate the whole entire assembly, or we can rotate just the head inside, which was pretty cool. And now he came with a giant Mammoth Gun. I didn't pull it out of the box because it's just too ridiculous. So it's like, not even pulling it out. All right, and of course the 80s one came with this iconic gun right here. And it's so funny, people online a lot of times will either have a Zodiac gun or, what is the guy that squirts venom? Cobra Khan. I'll have a Cobra Khan gun sometimes, and it's like, nope, that's the wrong one. He's got a unique, cool, one-of-a-kind gun out of all the Masters of the Universe. No duplicate gun there. All right, then we got Classics. So here is our Classics Man-at-Arms, and they had a vote online on what color to make his skin, and the people who voted actually this lighter color actually won the vote, which I'm glad. I didn't want another orange Manny faces, and this looks a whole lot more like the card art. In fact, the Four Horsemen did an amazing job making it look like the card art. I mean, look how much that actually looks like. You know, it's got the tubes around it. It's got the little button on the top of his head. I mean, it just looks just like the card art, which I am really happy with. Because, you know, as a kid, you stare at this card art all day long thinking, oh, how cool would that be? And now his skin's not going up around his helmet over the top. And you can tell it's supposed to actually be his skin now instead of an orange jumpsuit. So there you go. And he has a small little Manny Faces gun. That's the right one. Now, one thing I didn't like, but I now notice, maybe I was wrong, is in the card art you can see that his eyes are actually black. And the toy, they also made black eyes as well. But the original 80s toy and the 2000X, he had white eyes. And my light just died. Let me go and plug in my charger for it, and I'll be done in about 15-20 minutes. Let me grab my other light number 2. It's funny, my AA light I charged, but I forgot to bring it back. Anyway, you can see his white eyes. So when I did my Manny Faces, the one I was going to use for my go-to, I did paint his eyes white. And that was one of the customs I did. I also made a small black band right around the top where it connects. You wouldn't see skin color up there too. So there you go. I also added a small ring right there around his neck because his face kind of sunk into his mask a little bit. And if you take a look, let me show you on the unaltered one, unless I altered him too, is especially with the monster face, you can see how low his mouth is on the mask. And you can see just that little bit of raising just helps it just a little bit so it doesn't look quite so weird. All right. So, of course, I got 3 Manny faces, because I always thought if I ever wanted to pretend like he got separated into 3 different personalities, into 3 different bodies, then I could do that storyline of Manny faces get separated into his 3 personalities. So that's why I actually got 3 of these for classics. And it's funny is he came with an alternate head, so you could have 6 heads. And some people actually bought 6 Manny faces to display all 6 heads on their shelf. It's like, wow, that's some real dedication. Anyway, let me go ahead and set these 2 aside. I love classics. I mean, look how cool that is. I mean, they actually match the card art. Oh, this was such a cool figure in classics. All right. So then we get our Super 7 Filmation version. Man, you guys are in a lot. Let's see. Why wasn't he in Revelation anyway? I mean, they mentioned him twice. They were able to waste money on Danny. You never sent a private notification. You're slipping up. Oh, that's funny. Cardback makes more sense. Yeah, it does. Hey, Lewis, thanks for joining us. I thought he was a robot. Manny Faces is a great actor. Manny Faces is better looking than Trump. All right, so here's the Super 7 version, and I have to admit I do like this. It's a nice tan Manny Faces. Now Super 7, they don't make the bodies as bulky. You can see we don't have the big old lats on the side, so you can put his arms all the way down. It does have a nice tan and very clean features on it, just like the cartoon. He has a very small little gun though, and as opposed to the larger gun that we have with that you can see it here between classics and the Super 7 one, even the guns are different sizes. So anyway, now to change his head, there's no knob on top. You have to actually reach into the mask and rotate his head, which doing that is going to eventually wear out the paint on this figure. So I would suggest finding where you want it and leaving it. Now I did make mine removable. It's not made to be removable. It took a lot of time and effort, and I had to repaint this surface right here. So now I can just grab his head and rotate it and pop his thing back on and not have to ruin, or potentially ruin, the face paint on there. So that was one of my things I really had to do, was to make this helmet removable, just so I could not have to keep reaching my finger in there and straightening out the face, because I just don't want to get a lot of finger oils all over the figures. And he has a nice elbow joint. And it's funny, the Super 7 made the smaller pins, and now, of course, the newer figures are pinless. But anyway, on to the next Manny Faces, and that is Origins. I was highly disappointed in my Origins, and I will explain why in a minute. He could have been cool. So close to being a really cool Ultimate figure. One, his head turns, like we saw with the 2000X. His face rotates really nicely. He's got some really nice sculpting in there. I mean, they did a really good job. The one flaw was his color of skin. It's neither orange. I mean, it is kind of an orange, you know, but it's not the same shade of orange as our 80s figures, and it's more jaundiced yellow. And it looks like, you know, something's going wrong with him. His skin turned all yellow. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird looking the color they chose. Now, I have been tempted to put a wash on him to try to darken his skin up, but I haven't got around to it. I just don't care enough. And what's interesting is his gun for this one. It looks like it's the exact same mold that the Super 7 used for theirs. I mean, it's uncanny how close these two look in design. I mean, even some of the small details that would not have been found just by recreating it are there. I mean, some of the exact same shapes, the small little circles in the same spot, the little dot on the top, you know, even the seam line, which is not so I'm guessing somehow they must have got the molds from Super 7 to use it. Yep. Because there's just too many things that are identical. And it's not like these things are inherent in every single gun design, so it's just kind of interesting. Yeah, one of the telltales is this little circle up on top right here. Is not all the guns had it circular, but these two do. Where it looks almost like a cleft note where it comes around. Where this one here is just an angle instead of a circle on top. So that's why I'm thinking they use literally the same mold, or at least recast. So they used the Filmation Super 7 gun to make our Origins Manny Faces. All right. So yes, Manny Faces is one of my top 11. One of my top 5 heroes. Let's go ahead and finally, what you're here for is to actually open up this new figure here. So let's check out the back of the box. Women sometimes are like Manny Faces, laughing out loud. That's awful. He has trapjaw legs. Yes. Yep. We saw too with classics. A lot of them started getting trapjaw legs. It became kind of a joke how many figures ended up with the same legs as Trapjaw. It's kind of funny. And we know a lot of Masters of the Universe is reuse of parts anyway. Alright, so I saw this figure online and I was like, oh, that is so cool. It's Manny Faces. And I was really debating whether to get him or not. And in the store, they had different faces revealed. I happened to grab the monster one because the box was in the best shape, which maybe I shouldn't have because I'm planning on just ripping the box open anyway. So I probably should have left the nice box for somebody else. But, oh, I'll show you the nice box. Ooh, the top of the other one is all mangled up here. And here's the back of the box, and it shows his 3 faces and how he looks. And he has some kind of a cool throwing weapon thing with his hands, so that's kind of fun. And they show 2 other figures in the line. Usually they show a ton of figures in the line with most card backs, but this one they just show 2. Rammy Mammy and Power Up He-Man. So there you go. Alright. So I'm hoping this does not turn into me buying a bunch of these with the CGI. I guess I should have put that in the title, huh? CGI. It's a computer graphic. But let's go ahead and open this. Now, I'll probably let my grandson have this one right away because he'll probably have fun thrashing. I know he does watch the CGI one at home with his dad. So, he'll probably actually enjoy this. Oh, I thought it might have been a sticker. It's like, oh, that would have been cool. Like we saw with 2000X with the awesome sticker. Alright. He's got some kind of fireball. He doesn't have a gun. Wow. You see, I don't get that totally. Because, I mean, yes, they don't want to sell guns to kids. I kind of understand that. Wow, he is short. They don't want to sell guns to kids. I totally understand that, and I get that, sure. But if they have a fist that shoots, it's the same, right? It's just not gun-shaped. So even though it's not a gun, he's still shooting at people with his fist. Fist of Fury. Oh, I see. He's got his waist has a really strong spring. And that's cool. That's cool how strong his spring is in his waist. Alright, let's see if we can figure out how to turn his head. Oh, weird. His head flips from the bottom. That is something new I've never seen in a Manny Faces before. Oh, that's so crazy cool. Beep, 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 beep. I'm a robot. Hey, I'm just a standard human. He looks like some kind of creature from the Black Lagoon kind of monster instead of a beastie monster. And it's kind of cool too because the shoulder pads are on there like we've seen. He's got the armor. Not sure what this is going on here, but it's kind of cool. He's got a cloth cape. He's got the Mattel stuff on the back. Let's compare him to a Classics to see how tall he is. You know, he actually is the same height. He's just so much bigger around the top that I just thought that he was shorter. His legs are a lot shorter, so his height is mostly in his torso and his head. Oh wait, this is not a Classics. All right, not Classics. I mean Revelation, or not Revelation. Origins. Okay, he is a lot shorter than Origins. Never mind. Never mind. I forgot the ones that have squatty legs. Squatty leg syndrome. And it's funny, his hand is shaped to hold a gun. So if I had a longer handle on this, you could stick that in there. So close. If I heated it up and stretched it, it would work. I'm not going to destroy an 80s gun to fit into his hand, though. Alright, let's talk articulation. He has, looks like the standard few points of articulation. He has little weeny legs that move. Oh, he's got middle knee joints. And he's got quite the waist, so you can do headbutting. And then, of course, the twisting, too. That's crazy. And then his hands have no rubber bands in there. His wrists, his hands move, and his arms only move up and down. There's no side lateral movement on it either that way, but just around town. All right, so there we go. It's a great kid's toy, it looks like. Definitely made for kids. Okay, let's try to see if we can figure out how to make this thing work. So let's pull him back. Oh, okay. So you're going to have to aim this better. You're going to take out your Origins, buddy, in your multiverse. We'll put his legs like this. And we will just go ahead and put his arm back like this so we can kind of... Okay. Oh, my hand's in the way. No! No, I knocked it off his fist. Okay, let's put that back on there. I guess he could hold the power sword, too. With the way his hand is. I don't have the new He-Man, so I can't put his power sword in there to see how it fits. Okay, let's try this again. Oh! No! Stop it! Okay. Obviously, you can't touch that hand when you're doing this maneuver. Oh, there we go. So, here's some detailing on him. There's his knuckle guns, or whatever it's supposed to be. Knuckle guns on this side. And I haven't seen him in the cartoon yet. I haven't watched that far into the series yet to see what he looks like. It's funny how old he looks there with the gray. Oh, looks like the head only goes one way. I guess it goes both ways. Why does that face look so familiar? What character am I thinking about that looks like that? Lewis. That if I do that, that would be crazy. I have to admit, though, he is a really cool looking figure. And so, even though he's short, I should take they don't have a Ram Man. I should look at the Ram Man version. He'd be just right for making a Filmation. But they didn't make Ram Man into a man this time. They made him into a man. That is kind of a fun. Oh! Oh! Okay. Let's try putting it on this fist and see if I can get it to do the old flingaroo. We'll try as a backhand. You know what? It works better backhand than it does forward. There we go. Okay. You're going to backhand this man. Oh, okay, it doesn't work backhand on this hand. We'll do it forward this time. Ugh. Ugh. All right, there we go. We got a Manny Faces from an alternate universe. See, Eric, did you see my comment on the Tila snake suit? I did not see that yet, Eric. Backhand Hadouken. All right, there's a fan from Street Fighter. Masterpiece Megatron. Tiny faces. He looks the same on the cartoon, but he has a cape. He's kind of got a cape. Maybe, kind of. All right. Yeah, I should be watching that CGI. I haven't got back to it. I keep seeing it pop up on my thing. I don't know. I find a hard time getting back to it, even though everyone says how cool it is. All right, so this is the end of my video. One last time, these are my favorite 5 heroes. There they are from my top 11. I really should make a 6th character. I should put Cyclone on here too, because I really like Cyclone a lot too. But it's funny with Cyclone, I like him just by himself without any other figures. But one-man army. If you want to see my favorite 6 bad guys, I might as well pull the other one off the wall. Here are my favorite 6 bad guys. And I was tempted to fix this picture before I printed it and put the black on there and the jaw, but I kind of like the fact that it's missing some of the part, because that's how it was in the card art originally. Anyway, it was fun to make these. I got a video on them and I have downloads too if you guys want to look for it. You haven't seen Mosquito yet in the cartoon. Love the Ram Man on the back of the card. Okay, let's take a look at that Ram Man again before I go. Yeah, she does look cool. Like her big old legs that she jumps from. It's kind of cool. All right. Anyway, let me check and see how many subscribers I have. I think I'm getting really close to 25,000. Hold on a second. Let me figure out how I do that. Oh, it just says 25K on my thing. I know I don't, though. I'm just shy of it. I have like 24,070 or something, so it's getting pretty close. All right. Please like and subscribe. Share with your friends. And I sold this figure this weekend, which was pretty cool. And hopefully I'll mail him off coming this week really quick for the person who won. All right, you guys. I will see you next video. And we'll see if Mattel re-releases him at the $15 mark, which would be cool if they do, because then people that didn't get him don't have to pay a small fortune for him. All right, until next time, good journey. Let me check the live chat one last time. Yep, Night Delaxorian. Thank you, Leo X Rocks. Leo X Rock. Man, I keep saying it wrong. What the heck? Sorry, man. 25 of them are on my sock accounts. Thanks, man.